Joining me right now is the former California Congressman and former Speaker of the House, Kevin McCarthy. He was the 55th Speaker of the House. And Speaker McCarthy, it's always a pleasure. Thanks very much for weighing in this morning.
Thank you, Maria. Good to see you again.
What is your reaction to Ron DeSantis now dropping out of this race?
I think it was a smart move on his part. I mean, he'll spend some time analyzing what went wrong during the campaign, but he was not going to do well in New Hampshire. His campaign had not focused on New Hampshire. He put everything into Iowa, and you pretty much knew the way Iowa turned out that his campaign wasn't long. And I think how he left before the race, I think that helped him longer term. Look, he's still going to be a governor of a large state. He does a good job as a governor. I think he'll be looking to 4 years from now, but he's going to be analyzing what went wrong during this campaign when he had so much hope and promise that didn't go well.
Well, you endorsed President Trump a while back. What's your sense in terms of where those voters go? If they don't have DeSantis to support, do they go to Nikki Haley or do they go to Donald Trump?
I think they're much more likely to go to Trump. They seem to be more Trump voters, where Ron DeSantis was getting his vote. But it says a lot here when you look at this primary. Normally, it's much more competitive this time. New Hampshire is a primary, not a caucus. It's usually more determinant who becomes the nominee. This just shows that President Trump is actually stronger today than he was 8 years ago. His campaign team, much more sophisticated. You've got to give them a lot of credit. Susie, Chris, and Brian Jack, they have done a tremendous job while being attacked stronger than at any time, probably than his career, what the Democrats have tried to do, not to take him off the ballot. And he's used that to even only make himself stronger. But it bogged him down, but he still won Iowa. I mean, if you take DeSantis and Haley's votes, he still got more than them combined. So he has been running a really strong campaign. And when you look on the other end, there has really been in modern history no president weaker going into a re-election than Joe Biden. And I continue to say, if Joe Biden continues to be the nominee for the Democrats, it's going to be one of the biggest nights for Republicans. We'll gain seats in the House, we'll capture the Senate, and we will recapture the White House.
Yeah, and Speaker, are you expecting to get a job in a Trump administration part 2?
I don't look at that. Look, I will always serve where if I'm the best person for the job, I'm going to help this President Trump in anything he needs to do. But I'm off doing other things right now. But I firmly believe it's a responsibility of every citizen in America to help their country be stronger. And you do that in many different ways.
Well, you must be watching what's going on in Washington with really a critical eye, because we've got another continuing resolution. President Biden signed off on that CR to keep the government funded until March. You and your colleagues kept saying, we're going to dig in on the border, and yet look what we have. Speaker Mike Johnson now facing plenty of GOP backlash after spending plans were released. House Democrats supported this bill more than the House Republicans. Members of the Freedom Caucus reportedly plotting revenge against Speaker Johnson, like a deja vu to what you dealt with, planning to hijack GOP messaging bills. House Foreign Affairs Committee Chairman Mike McCall joined me yesterday on Sunday Morning Futures, and I began the show by asking him, why did you cave? Here's what he said, defending the CR. Watch. Why did you kick the can down the road and continue funding this government?
Well, I didn't kick any can down the road. I didn't want to take my football and go home and not play on the football field. You can't win the game if you're not on the field. And the fact is, it would jeopardize our military readiness at a very dangerous time. Our veterans. I was with our Border Patrol all day yesterday. For me to come home and tell them, we're not going to give you your paychecks to do your job, that's just insulting. What we need, Maria, is about a month to get this right.
Yeah, and Kevin, I'm having a deja vu after those months and months of tense negotiations that you had with President Biden. And I remember Ron DeSantis blasted you and blasted the debt ceiling deal, saying that it leaves the U.S. careening toward bankruptcy. Your thoughts on where we are today?
Well, if we didn't do the debt ceiling, we cut $2 trillion. We got welfare reform. We capped what we were spending in the future. For the first time, we got reform in NEPA so we could build things. First time in more than 40 years. It's the only thing Congress has done. You're asking the wrong person when you ask Mike McCall that question. You really should be asking the Freedom Caucus. They are the ones who have stopped the Republicans from being able to govern. So what they are doing is they're locking in the Democratic policies. They're actually spending spending more money now than if we'd go to the debt ceiling numbers. That would mean government would spend less. We could put Republican policies in, but they continue to stymie this majority to be able to do anything. And it really comes down to what's a true conservative. And I look to Ronald Reagan. A conservative is one that can actually govern in a conservative way. But what you're finding now is what they're doing is doing nothing, but it locks in Democratic Pelosi policies. It locks in the others. I don't think they should continue to move to these CRs. They should actually follow the numbers that was in the debt ceiling, which is lower than what they're spending today. You get to reform it with Republican policies because you're in the majority now in the House. You get to move forward and lay out and show the American public why they should give you more seats in the House and actually capture the Senate.
Yeah. Do you believe they're going to be able to get these 12 appropriations bills done now by March 1st and March 8th?
Well, they don't have to get 12. We did a number of them before I departed.
Right, that's right.
I would sit in the room now because they've all gone through committee. I would sit in the room and start negotiating because if you don't, you're locking in Pelosi's policies, and that's
right.
what the Freedom Caucus is doing. And they're actually spending more money, and they're hurting the military because you can't do the new advancements. And we've got men and women in the Mediterranean today. They're being shot at in the ships and others. I think this is a time to show you can govern. If you're going to have the majority, lead.
Yeah. Well, look, the Republicans look to be getting tough on the border until they gave in. Senate border negotiations claimed that a deal could be finalized this week. President Trump, however, is weighing any pressure on the GOP to only accept a deal that they get everything needed to stop the, quote, invasion. Writing on Truth Social this, he has no doubt Speaker Johnson will make a deal that is perfect on the border. President Biden now seems to be getting religion, Kevin, because look what he said Friday when he was asked about the border. I mean, look, we have to understand that we are now in election season. The New Hampshire primary is tomorrow, and the election is 288 days away. And suddenly, we got a change in tune from this president. Watch this.
What do you say to House Republicans who are trying to impeach Mayorkas, sir?
I don't get it.
Do you think it's unconstitutional?
Are you on the same page with Prime Minister
And do you
Netanyahu?
believe that the border is secure, sir?
No, it's not. I haven't believed it for the last 10 years. But I've said it for the last 10 years.
Do you believe your
Give me the money.
Do you believe your policies have enabled any of this crisis at the border that you're grappling with now?
I've asked for thousands more of everything from judges.
Your thoughts, Speaker. What do you make of Biden now admitting the border is not secure? He claims he's been saying this for 10 years.
No, he hasn't. He's saying quite the opposite. Maria, I got to give you credit because you're one of the few that has covered this as we've been working on this. Remember what the House Republicans have done, even with a small majority. We have passed the toughest border security bill in the history of the last 30 years in America. An H.R. 2, we made a priority of it. When I became Speaker, even before, we had been down at the border seeing that the changes is made with this new administration, where there's more people we caught in last February on the terrorist watch list than we caught in the entire last administration. We're watching fentanyl, the #1 killer of Americans between the ages of 18 and 45. We're watching millions of people come across this border with no accountability. And now that we're into the political season, when you looked at the exit polls in Iowa, one of the #1 issues was the border. I just watched a poll in California, even with Democrats and independents. You've watched the state of Massachusetts. Their #1 issue, they declared a state of emergency. You see the mayor of New York, the governor of New York, the governor of Illinois. These are all major liberal, progressive Democrats pleading, stop what's happening on the border. Finally, the president's up for re-election, and it is going to hurt the Democrats what they have done.
Yeah, #1 issue in New Hampshire, immigration. Amazing to see that. Kevin McCarthy, always a pleasure.
It's not,
Final word.
Thank you. And it's not Canada's immigration. It's on the southern border.
There you go. Exactly. Kevin McCarthy, great to catch up. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Maria.